I'm trying to remember which ones we've revealed. I think my favourite is one we haven't yet revealed.
Yeah. Feel free to reveal it, though.
I'm going to reveal it.
This is my favourite part.
Batman, but tiny and plastic. Yes, we're talking about Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight, and with me is Jonathan from the team at TT Games. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. It's fantastic to be here.
We just saw a brand new cutscene from the game that stars a little scene from Batman 89, the Tim Burton classic. But people might not actually have their heads around this yet. It's not just a game that is retelling these films, right? You have made an original story, kind of piecing together bits from the films as kind of this tableau, is that correct?
That's one iconic moment that we've woven in to the story of this game that starts with young Bruce Wayne and takes you on a journey throughout all the movies, all the comic books, 85 years of history from that fantastic character as you establish his legacy to really become the saviour and hero of Gotham City.
And is it just the films we're looking at here, or are we taking bits from comics or other games?
No, we love the films and we're very influenced by the films, but there's so much to draw upon. It's been a complete joy to work with such a depth of storytelling material from brilliant creators in TV, animated series, comic books, of course, and across the field of media. Batman's always been there, telling great stories. We've brought them all into this brand new Lego game.
We obviously saw the Joker in this clip, the most famous Batman villain, and it's had a lot of different faces and voices over the years. I wonder, when the Joker appears in this game, do we get sort of like different versions of the Joker? Does the person portraying the Joker kind of be more of a Heath Ledger Joker or a Jack Nicholson Joker, as we've seen in this clip?
The story takes place over many years, and as Bruce grows, as you as the player explore more of Gotham City, start to build the Bat family, everything around Bruce starts to transform as well. And as you know, that Joker character that we all know from later on in Batman's crime-fighting career has an origin story as well. We'll get a glimpse of that. And then we'll see at key moments he falls into the vat of Ace Chemicals. Later on, he will fall from another great height, as Jack Nicholson in that character does at the end of Batman 89. And we'll see him transform as Batman progresses as well to become a character who does some of the really striking and shocking things that we see in the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
And another character that we've seen kind of change and evolve over the years is Catwoman. Sometimes she's on Batman's side, sometimes she's against Batman. What sort of Catwoman are we seeing in this game? Is she more of a friend of Batman or a foe?
Well, with all the characters in this game, we want to give an essential version of that story that draws upon all their different aspects over the decades. We start from the modern, sort of most relevant, most recognisable, up-to-date version of that character. So we're quite influenced, particularly at this time, early in the story with the younger Bruce Wayne, by the Zoe Kravitz version from The Batman. And there's a sort of iconic outfit and look that she has. The scene that comes shortly after that in Shrek's department store draws very heavily on the representation of the character and the suit, iconically, that you'll remember from Batman Returns, the Tim Burton film with Michelle Pfeiffer in that role. The essence of Julie Newmar from the 60s is always in the sort of the spirit of fun of Catwoman. And we think we're bringing those all together into our Lego Catwoman. You'll have all those different suits to unlock, and the abilities that we've given Catwoman aren't seen in any one of those movies. She's got more tech now. She's got kittens that she can summon with a laser pointer and use in combat, and her whip can do things that we haven't seen in the other media. But I think you'd always recognise that as a video game Catwoman that, again, is just really fun to play with.
Let's dig deeper into Catwoman's ability set. Like, what is your favourite aspect of her kind of skill set in this game?
A lot of people on the team, myself included, were so delighted when early in prototyping, it became clear that to embody a cat. So it is so fun. So you can, as Catwoman, summon cats around with a laser pointer. You can sort of launch cats at enemies, and they'll scratch at their heads and do damage. You can also actually become a cat. So if you summon a cat, you can become a cat and then walk around and crawl into vents as a cat, sneak up behind enemies as a cat, distract enemies as a cat by meowing, jump up and down. And just being a cat is really fun.
Amazing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we've seen glimpses of this game. Are there any references to the Zack Snyder like films or Ben Affleck's Batman at all?
Absolutely, we draw upon everything across the history of the franchise into this game. So yeah, you've got suits and moments and vehicles that everyone will reference, everyone will recognise from across all the movies.
People who've played the Lego games for years are kind of used to these vast rosters with almost hundreds of characters at this point, whereas you've kind of focused it down to a much smaller roster this time around. And I wondered, is that kind of because you'd rather focus on these different characters and make them sort of a deeper gameplay experience and different from one another, rather than have an excess of characters with kind of variations on the same thing?
Well, we're doing several things that are new with this game. We're taking these individual characters on a journey as well. So you're constantly upgrading and developing new skills and opening up new abilities for each of those characters. Within the Batman Bat family as well, we really wanted to focus on making those characters really unique, making their personalities come across and their abilities very distinct, so they work well in partnership with each other. And we then want to give you lots and lots of options to see the full range of what those characters can be by giving you more than 100 different suits to collect. So you still get that moment in the Batcave when you've got all the different suits from all the different characters arrayed in front of you, colourful and glorious. You're still compelled to sort of want to complete that collection. But the story, yes, is more focused on a tighter roster of characters that are now more differentiated, with much deeper gameplay.
So people that enjoy like the collectathon aspect of Lego games shouldn't be worried. There's plenty to find.
Oh my goodness, there's so many. In any Lego game, there is so much to discover. There's a fantastic story that will take you through the highlights of Batman's legacy and get you started. But there's so much to discover in Gotham City as well. So many extras and collectibles and surprises.
Do you have a favourite one of those outfits, or would you not want to reveal that at this point?
I'm trying to remember which ones we've revealed and which ones. I think my favourite is one we haven't yet revealed.
Yeah. Feel free to reveal it, though.
I'm going to reveal it in the future, Sam.
This game we're saying it's obviously, reverential to the old Lego games, but also kind of looking to the Rocksteady Arkham games, maybe in its combat, I think that's fair to say. And I wondered, kind of by trying to find the middle ground, has that been a tricky balance in maybe trying to please two audiences? Are you wary of maybe not pleasing either?
Well, on the contrary, what we find with all our Lego games is that the more we can draw upon, the more different aspects of a character, the more wide we can make our gameplay, the more appealing it is to us as players and to younger players and older players. There's something about Lego, that just translates well for everybody. So the more we can put into that, we don't find that it misses the mark for anyone at all. It just brings more to the party. So for this game, wanting to make a essential, really cool Batman combat experience, of course we honour and we look to and we draw upon the amazing work that the team at Rocksteady did, the definitive work that Rocksteady did to bring that character to life in video games. We want a really fluid combo-based combat system. We want very dynamic encounters. We want Batman to use his gadgets and mix them up with really powerful melee attacks. We've delivered that, and then we've built around that, and we put it all through this beautiful Lego lens that makes everything fun and accessible for everybody.
Kind of seemed like the Skywalker saga was a step in this direction, but can we consider those like old style of Lego games maybe a thing from the past for TT games? Now are you kind of, for lack of a better phrase, like maturing as a studio, wanting to do deeper stuff?
So we're not leaving anything behind. We always carry our history with us. We made those games. People who work on those games are still working on the new games. We still love them. We still play them. With each step, and this has always been the case, we want to do new things. We want to keep that Lego idea of fun, modern and relevant and up to date, and not get stuck in the past. With Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, as you know, we made a couple of really significant changes that fans really appreciated. So in particular, getting closer to the character, having a really immersive camera system, and then just starting to make the combat experience and some of the core gameplay systems deeper and richer than they had been before when we were further away and it was maybe a bit more arcadey in some respects. We don't want to lose the accessibility and immediacy, but that showed that we could add layers to that and make environments that were really big and broad and really deep and rich and rewarding. We've just gone further with Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, and then also found aspects of the Batman character and the Batman story in Gotham City that have really worked well with that aspiration to get deeper, to be even more authentic in our treatment of Lego, in our treatment of the story, in our treatment of the characters. And we couldn't be happy with the result.
So partway through the development of Lego Batman, there was a big change at DC with James Gunn coming in. I wondered, has he had much of a influence over this game at all? Has he seen it? Has he played it?
Yeah, we couldn't have been happier when James Gunn arrived, because we love his sense of fun in all the storytelling that he's created over so many years. And we knew that he would make the character in the new movies and the other series as well more relevant and exciting. He'd bring new viewers in. The more people who are excited about Batman, the better. And James Gunn is the perfect person to lead that. We've been so thrilled with everything that he's done. We've been greatly supported by the DC team on this game, as we have been on previous DC games. And when James Gunn played the game, he gave some fantastic feedback. I know he liked it, and that was great to hear.
Mm-hmm. Lego Batman is coming out in May. Was that always the plan, or did a certain other game moving kind of dictate when this game would be released?
We knew we wanted it to come out in spring of this year. And we eventually had the opportunity, producing a game, as you get closer to the end, you can be clearer about when it's actually going to be able to make it. So we were really glad to be able to confirm that date when we did.
Amazing. And presumably a big sigh of relief when GTA 6 moved.
Well, sigh of relief. Look, I want to play that game. But we're also really glad to have some space for people to play Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. We're giving you an open city and a fantastic experience for all players. Which I thoroughly recommend, Simon.
Well, you don't really need to recommend it to me, Jonathan, because I'm already sold. I can't wait to play Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Thank you so much.
Well, you played it at Gamescom, didn't you?
I did, but I want to play all of it.
Okay.
I only saw a tiny bit and it wasn't
so
enough.
Much more.
I know. I want to collect every suit. I will be unlocking that platinum trophy in this game, I can tell you that.
Great.
I guarantee I will send you a screenshot once it's done,
Thank
okay?
you.
It's coming out in May. Can't wait to play it. Thank you so much again. And yeah, for more from video games, movies, TV shows, please keep watching IGN FanFest.